you get yourself this sick ass bike, and you know, you've been going to some bike nights, bike meets, whatever you want to call them, and you stumbled upon somebody else that has the same bike. So you're like, hey brother, what's going on? As he fires it up, it kind of doesn't sound like yours. It kind of sounds 10 times better. That's pretty easy to explain. He's got an exhaust, and you've been looking at exhaust for the past 3 days. It's driving you mad. And guess what? This is today's topic. Should you or should you not go for an exhaust on your bike? Now, there's a lot of pros and cons in both decisions you go for. Let's start off with not getting an exhaust, huh? How about that? As I got my first bike, I was really into getting an exhaust for it. My first bike being an FZ07. Don't know if you ever heard one. Stock, it doesn't really make a lot of sound. And as a noob, if I may qualify myself as that, well, I used to go by... So, right before I was rudely interrupted by this piece of dicklet, what was I saying? Why should you not get one, right? I used to have an FZ07, and said FZ07, you know, it wasn't really outputting a lot of decibels, if you could say it like that. And, you know, me being the typical bike noob, I used to swear by the good old loud pipes saves lives. Yeah. And next thing you know, I got FZ09. I get an M4 for it. Woohoo! Sound great. Now, the thing I didn't know is sound comes with a price. Price being your hearing. Back then, I didn't know about wearing earplugs. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Let's just say in 10,000 kilometers, I somewhat grew deaf. I didn't really grow deaf, I just lost some of my hearing. Yeah, I'd say the first reason not to get one would be sometimes it's just really loud depending on what you get. And back then I got an M4 on my FZ09, and holy crap was that shit loud. Man, you would just cut right at the headers, slap that on, and then get going. And back then, as I wasn't looking for performance, well, I didn't think of tuning it, so it was just loud. Just very loud. And because I still had the SAS on, it would just keep popping and banging all the time, which, you know, it's fun, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's not 15,000 kilometers nice. It's just not fun after 15,000. Just every corner you just go pop 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 pow 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 pow, fire coming out of the exhaust. It gets obnoxious. Well, that's just a personal point of view. Another reason not to get one is it's expensive, you know. It's not free. You don't just go up to whatever exhaust you're looking for and just buy it. They usually come in thousands of dollars. You know, if you look into pipes that have decent performance, you're looking at, you know, pipes like a Kropovich, I don't know, Arrow, something that has some kind of back pressure, you know, something that'll not just sound loud, that will actually give you performance. So yeah, it gets pretty pricey if you want to go for a decat and go for a slip-on and everything. It's just, if you want to go for the exhaust upgrade, you better get your wallet ready, man. Not only is the exhaust itself expensive, but tuning it is another game. Like, you have to get yourself some kind of fuel controller, Power Commander, Bazaz, EJK, whatever. Got to get yourself one of those if you want to get a custom map for it, get it dyno tuned, because you got to be able to do the readings of the AFR, which is the air fuel ratio. So that it gets expensive very fast, you know, getting an airbox, modifying your current airbox, getting a different air filter, you know, SAS delete, evap canister delete, that kind of stuff. If you're really looking for performance with an exhaust, it's, you know, it's gonna cost you a bit. And just overall, just a better running bike will cost you a lot if you go for an exhaust, because, well, as soon as you modify the exhaust flow, you have to tune it accordingly. And that involves getting it dyno tuned, you know, sometimes just getting a map loaded on it, like on my bike here, the Superduke, when you get a Kropovich full exhaust, full like titanium overpriced exhaust, well, they load you with that good old Kropovich map. So yeah, you'll have to load a map, a generic map sometimes, you know, if you don't want to go the full-blown dyno tuning route, you'll load a generic map. But aside from the fact that it's expensive, it attracts attention overall. For somebody that rides a lot, that just daily drive his bike, it'll attract a lot of attention. Sometimes unwanted attention, just like cops. And yeah, you don't want cops pulling you over, or that loud M4 you got, which is, I mean, knock on wood, never happened to me with this aero pipe, which is just a slip-on, which probably is the reason why I got a competition work in the mail coming, which will be in another video. I'll just, you know, I'll go over it real quick, give you a little flyby, give you a listen to that good tune. So yeah, another reason will be, you know, unwanted attention. If you're somewhat of a hooligan, somebody that likes to do wheelies, if you're somebody that really wants to rip it in the corners, you know, especially in the canyons, it resonates a lot, a whole lot. If you have a sheriff somewhere just waiting, he'll probably hear you coming. It'll resonate. Now, of course, you can go for a slip-on, which, you know, in some cases, like say my old FZ09, you couldn't go for a slip-on because it's welded from the headers all the way to the muffler, which it didn't really have one. It just had an exit in the catalytic converter. I'd say you could go for a slip-on like I have right now, because when I bought this bike, it came with it, so I didn't change it since then. But, you know, I had this bike for like what, less than 3 weeks, and you know, I've ordered competition work because just this, I don't really like the look. It's just, no, you don't get a single-sided swing arm bike to hide that single-sided swing arm. It just doesn't make sense, at least to me, and that's my opinion. But like I was saying, you get a slip-on, it's not as loud, you still got the cat, so it's reasonable. And yeah, that's why. Well, I think I've went around. And now let's move on to, actually, come on, man, you trying to die today? So why should you get an exhaust? Right, I got an exhaust. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging people who get exhaust. I used to be that guy. I used to like judge people, but you grow mature over time. You're just like, meh, people can do whatever the hell they want. And I'm not judging, and I'm actually getting a competition work for this one. Why? As the first argument here would be the looks. The exhausts in general, the aftermarket ones, you generally go for something that you like, that aesthetically pleasing look. Like mine, the competition work is just barely sticking out on that rear wheel, so it's just gives the Superduke that sexy single-sided swing arm look. Other one would be the same argument you would use when not getting an exhaust, that being sound. Right, you want more sound, you want your bike to sound louder. My old FZ07 didn't make any sound. It was pathetic. It sounded like a lawnmower. My FZ09, before I put the M4 on it, same thing. It was just awfully quiet. It was like you were riding an electric bike. It just, meh, I didn't like it. You want a deeper note? Another reason is, and it's usually the reason why you go for exhaust, you want performance. You want more out of your bike. Now, that argument I would understand in the not powerful bike, something that you're trying to squeeze out the extra HPs when you can, just try to get a feel of the difference. But I mean, come on, man, on bikes like, let's say this Superduke or my old Tuono, these bikes, man, even like I don't know, man, like 1000cc super bikes or whatever, you don't really need that extra performance. It's just already, it's too much power to ever be used on the street, at least legally. So I don't use it as an argument, which is one of the reasons I got the competition work. Is, well, it's not really giving top peak HP. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the looks and an extra something, you know, a little more angriness out of the bike. So I'm not looking for peak torque, peak HP. This thing has enough torque to, I mean, if you're going the right speed, it'll come up in fourth. I know it for sure. In third, it just comes up like it's nothing. It's just very easy to bring it up in third. So like I was saying, performance. Something else, weight saving. You want to save some weight? Just look at your muffler and your catalytic converter. I am telling you, you're saving at least something around 10 pounds. And it's, you know, it's pretty noticeable. Like, so from my personal experience, it's noticeable. You really feel it, especially the cat. The cat is very, very heavy. If you go for a decat and a slip-on, man, you'll feel like the bike just, woo, you know, gets a little more agile on its feet. So weight savings, that will be a reason to get an exhaust, right? Something else, which is just something it's my opinion. I don't like, well, pretty much all I say is my opinion, but this is just, it's more personal. It's not a general thing. I'd say it's, you know, it's for the fun of wrenching on the bike. Like, you own the bike, you want to mod it, you want it to look like how you imagined it before you bought it. You know, you've had all these scenarios in your head. You know, you want it to look good. You want a certain sound. You want a particular feel to the bike. It's the whole wrenching thing. You wrench on the bike. You play with its component. You disassemble it, reassemble it. You just spend time, you know, bonding with the bike. Yeah, some people just really enjoy that, you know, buying stuff for their bikes. You know, it's me personally, I order a shitload of stuff for my bike. And let me tell you, man, whenever the things I ordered come in, it feels like Christmas every single time. And I bought some Chinese parts. And let me tell you, man, it takes around a month for those parts to actually get here in Canada. And man, whenever it comes in, I mean, by the time it gets here, it just, I usually have forgotten about them. So it's just like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that set of levers. Oh, great. Oh man, it's fucking Christmas, boy. That'll be pretty much it for my arguments, you know, on this topic. For what I think about whether you should get an exhaust or not. I think I'll call this video to exhaust or not to exhaust. That is the question. So with that being said, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Peace.